Hi, Darshana.
Well, hello, Mr. Hodgin. How are you?
I'm just fine.
Hi,
Good.
Dave.
I'm looking forward to today.
I am too. I am too. I'm excited. But as usual, as we all know, I have my knight in white shining armor here at home, Willie. But my other knight in shining armor is George, and George was getting me out of a bind.
Okay. Well, George is on the line now. Hi there, George.
Hi, Dave.
And Louise
Hi,
is with us
Darshana.
today. Welcome, Louise. And Maxine, of course, is on.
Well,
George, do you want to start talking about some of this?
Yep, I will do that. So let's see here. Welcome to Senior Life Online, presented by Scotts Valley Senior Life Association. That's us. And there's our website. And please visit our website, sign up for our newsletter, suggest future projects. Donations are always welcome. And one way to donate is when you go to Amazon to buy something, you can name Scotts Valley Senior Life as your favorite charity. So that would be much appreciated. I think we get 5% for everything. Is that right? Good thing. Donations directly benefit senior citizens around Scotts Valley. We're an all-volunteer group of seniors. Nearly 100% of all donations received are used to directly help seniors living in the area. So far, we've gotten automatic electronic defibrillators for Montevalli and Spring Lakes. We got an exercise machine and new outdoor benches for Montevalli just recently. Patio umbrellas for the Scotts Valley Senior Center. And one of these days, we're going to start doing 2 to 3 free workshops annually on the topic of senior health. So soon, we hope, we're actually going to meet people in person. And that's some of us. Jack should be right in here somewhere. So he's our newest board member. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you.
And that's our donation box. We actually have a real donation box that was created by one of our members, and it much appreciated. Who was that? Do you remember, Dave? I should know.
I've forgotten, but Maxine has got a fantastic memory, so she could tell us exactly who it was.
Maybe before we sign off, we'll thank them again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Ken Simpkins.
Ken Simpkins. Huh?
Oh, right. Well, thank you, Ken. Future projects to benefit senior citizens around Scotts Valley that we're supporting are the new Performing Arts Center, and we're working with we hope to work with kindergarten students, but we're doing an Adopt a Senior program where we'll be able to work with high school students, have seniors and students work together. And we're also looking for other projects. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to let us know. And this presentation will be recorded. And if you don't want to be recorded, then just let us know. And there are ways so you can block your, stop your video from being recorded and conceal your telephone number if you use the phone. We do post these on YouTube, and we have our own YouTube channel, and we have quite a few. I think we probably have almost 10 of our past presentations on our YouTube channel. So tune in and sign up. You can actually sign up to follow our YouTube channel. So we'll have fans, and so we can go viral. So we would really appreciate that.
Fantastic.
And today's featured speaker is Darshana Croskrey. In a conversation with Darshana, as everybody knows, she's our the coordinator at Scotts Valley Senior Center, and she does an amazing job. And we're very excited to have Darshana here today. And with that, she's going to be talking about goings on at the Scotts Valley Senior Center. Things during and post COVID-19 lockdown activities, senior center offerings, services, etc., and get connected to the greater community through your center membership. Contribute your ideas for what you want the Scotts Valley Senior Center to provide you. And with that, I will turn it over to Darshana.
Dave, do you want to give me this share? Let me share my screen.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Okay, Darshana.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you very much to Scotts Valley Senior Life Association for asking me to come and share about our senior center today. I take it as a very exciting opportunity. And yes, this first screen that you see is the latest hot off the press, quite late newsletter, front page. And this issue goes out to the community 11 times a year. And it's a labor of love. It's, I give content, and we have an amazing, amazing newsletter editor. Her name is Becca Mosley, and she makes it all fit and look pretty. And anyway, it is a font of information. And so, yes, that is our sample of our newsletter. You're welcome to go to Facebook and to our Facebook page, and it's there in its entirety. And also, if you become a member, let me tell you, it's the best $20 you'll spend in this town supporting our seniors, and we will send one in the mail to you. So the Senior Center pre-COVID, well, before I start with that, I know the 64, is it $1,000 question or $1 million question is, when is the Senior Center going to open again? So I did meet with the city manager. We don't, at the time we met, we did not have an exact date. But as you know, if you've been around the senior center, taking walks and things, we have a lot of,
Hey, OG.
we have a lot of maintenance to take care of. And also, because we won't be going back into the same swing of things, the same kind of calendar events and everything that we had pre-COVID, because a lot of things have changed because, you know, we have to make sure that we'll be following health guidelines and so on. So a lot of our events may not immediately start up again. And so also, we have a lot of decluttering to do. We couldn't do it during the year. We could only focus on anything to do with COVID. And so basically my job was to make sure the newsletter went out and I stayed in contact with our seniors and that kind of thing. But now we're getting ready to reopen. So we are decluttering, we are cleaning up the senior center. I am looking to getting service clubs to come on board and help us with some of the landscaping and some other groups. And so I'm not sure, but we hope to open up sometime around middle of July, the beginning, middle of July. No set date, but as soon as we know, we will shout it from the rafters. And so now going back to this, we have an annual calendar that we put together at the beginning of the year. And then the next slide will show you the monthly calendar. So as you can see, we do quite a bit, don't we, George?
You sure do.
George has been a part of many of those things that we do offer. Let's see. Some of the things that we've offered in the past, if you'd like to go to the next screen, Maxine. I'm a Brit, so of course we do our high teas, which everybody loves. There's a sample there from 1 year. Next, please. We also put on pancake breakfasts twice a year. The reason why we only do twice a year is because I don't like to step on other toes. We have the firefighters putting on pancake breakfasts. Highlands Park Senior Center puts one on monthly. So I feel like we just need to do the two. We do one in the spring, one in the fall, and our fall one is always on Grandparents' Day weekend. And it's lovely to have the grandparents out with their families, with their grandchildren, and we try to have activities for the children as well. Next, please. So this is a sample of the Grandparents' Day pancake breakfast. It was too hard to choose which picture am I going to show, so the easiest thing was to go to the pages where we had collages. But the next one, let's see, one of our funnest events that we have are our fashion shows. And we put 4 of them on so far, but last year would have been our 5th. Unfortunately, we had to cancel that. But this was our first fashion show, and it was renew, reuse, recycle was the theme. And it went very well. So we decided that we would have a second one. So the following year, we had, next please, Maxine. We had Jill Alexander and Perfumer's Apprentice be our main sponsors. And as you can see, we have some of our models there. It was, again, very successful. And so, of course, we had to do it again. And everybody said, well, what are you going to do to make it better than the last? Well, next, please, Maxine. In this one, this was really intense. We had, I believe, 26 people participate. One military member was part of it and a baby. One of our seniors is a milliner, and she also makes costumes for reenactments. And so between her and her friends, they came together and we put on this show. And the following year, which was a year before last, next please, Maxine, we decided we would go contemporary. And so it was the Housewives of Scotts Valley. And we had members of our business community participate as models. And I'm showing you all of these. To put these kind of things on, we can't do it without volunteers and businesses. Our businesses are awesome. They participate, individuals participate. The men, even though it's a fashion show, we have men being a part of this. And yeah, it's one of the highlights of the year, and people look forward to it. So at this time, I'd just like to take a little break because I'd like to show you one of our favorite videos. And you'll probably recognize Chief Walpole taking part.
Let's do this. Let's try that. See what happens.
Can you see that
There you
now?
go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh,
There's sound.
thank you. Thank you.
That's Becca.
Mickey.
Mr. Hodgin.
Yeah, there's Dave.
And there's Card. So that's just a little snippet to show you about our fashion shows. And like I said, all this stuff cannot be accomplished without volunteers. And with COVID, we had instructors. Tamima is here. Tamima is one of our instructors. She's our line dance instructor. We had so many, and then we built it up during COVID to have these Zoom meetings, Zoom activities. But unfortunately, we are at the point where a lot of people have had to bow out temporarily or permanently. So, and also too, we have people who have moved from the area. And so we don't know what our programming is going to look like, but whatever it is, we are going to build on it. And so any of you out there who would like to volunteer with us, your time, talent, or treasure, or if you have friends who you think would be interested, I would surely love to talk to them and find a place where they can join our group and volunteer with us. Next, please.
Okay.
Oh, this is it. So we do a lot of fun things. There's a lot of fun things we do, but one of our most successful things is our bocce group. We have over 100 people playing bocce. In just the senior league. That's not the adult rec league, it's just the senior league. And four of them were state national winners too. So it's a fun crowd, and even if you're in a wheelchair, you can play bocce. They play 3 seasons out of the year. They close down for the winter. Right now, they are chomping at the bit to get back into bocce ball playing. However, we all know that the fields at Sky Park do need some major work, and things are being worked on as we speak. There are plans afoot. So hopefully, we will at some point get back to bocce ball, and hopefully it will be as strong as it was prior to COVID. Next, please. We love July 4th. We love eating and we love getting together. So throughout the year, there are always events, but I just wanted to show you, as well as things happening at the senior center, we also have seniors. We try to encourage our membership to volunteer outside of the senior center too. And so Donna Lind actually last year did the COVID version of the July 4th celebrations with a video that was crowdsourced and put together with the help of Susan Fraser, who's in the audience there too. And we learned this year that Donna's doing it again. This time it will be a live parade. We won't be able to have the fireworks, of course, because of the closure, a temporary closure of Sky Park. But we do have seniors who will volunteer to help with booths, with parking, participating in the parade. So I encourage you all to do that. They've also, our seniors have also taken part in helping to fundraise for the new Performing Arts Center, for things for the library. I'm really proud of our center because our members do go out and support through the senior center. They go and support other pieces of our community. So one of the things that I do, I put on as a thank you to all of our volunteers, is I'll put on a volunteer luncheon once a year. And that means that my helpers, my regular helpers, cannot know anything about what's going to be going on. And we try to recruit my friends into putting on the event. And we also recognize our public works. Our public works department, they are so wonderful. They are so good to us. As busy as they are, they make time for us. So that's just a sample of one of the times that we got together to celebrate our volunteers. I cannot say thank you enough for our volunteers. So something that has been a tradition for the Senior Center. I should backtrack a little bit and give you guys a little information here. this year the senior center will be 32 years old. And basically, apart from in between people between us, we have been 3 long-term stewards of the senior center. The first person was Janet Bonido, and she ran the center for about 10 years. And then many of you know Zibby Caro, and she held for 10 years. And now next month, I'll have been bearing the standard for 10 years. Throughout that time, the center has put on a holiday craft fair. It started out for a way for seniors to sell their crafts. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And this year, I'm not sure, we'll have to wait to see if we can do it. It will be, if we can, if I get permission, it will be a rushed put together event, but we'll have our 32nd year. And if not, then we will do it next year. But it's a part of Scotts Valley tradition. We're really proud of it. Again, it cannot happen without lots of volunteers and amazing local artists and shoppers with wallets. And anyway, that's our holiday craft fair. And we always love to get together at Thanksgiving time. We cook, we do a potluck, a massive potluck. In December, we always have a beautiful 4-course seated luncheon, holiday luncheon with entertainment. And, you know, the way we had a teacher from Vine Hill call me one year and said, we would like to make cookies for all, handmade cookies for all your seniors. Is that okay? And we did it. And she continued that tradition. She retired. The teacher who took over from her said, we would like to continue that tradition. And so we continue to have support from Vine Hill, this class in Vine Hill. And by that same token, we get a lot of support from so many people. I'm really proud that all 5 service clubs, the Moose, the Lions, the Kiwanis, the Rotary, and the Exchange, they all throughout the year have certain things that they take on to help us function. And we really appreciate the work that, and again, the time, talent, and treasure that they support us with. So for a few years, we did our New York New Year's Eve celebration. And of course, it happens at 9 o'clock. And then once that happens, we're all ready to go home. But we love to see the new year come in. So there's a sample of our New Year celebration. Our center, everybody thinks it's just for fun. And yes, primarily it is for fun. It is there, the center is there to be a safe haven for seniors. We have these 4 walls that are invisible, and they grow closer and closer in as we age. There's a time, you know, our minimum age is 50, and a lot of people are still at 80, busy and active in their lives. There are people at 50 who want something at the senior center, retire early. It is a place for everybody. We try to make our programming so that it's suitable for varying health conditions, various ages, various interests. And I have to give kudos to this lady, Marlene Flannery. She's been at my side for almost 10 years now. And she lives clear outside near Swift Street, Santa Cruz. This lady travels every day into the senior center and goes home through all that traffic. But, you know, people think I'm the boss, but I'm not. I did want to share that it's really Marlene who's the boss. Anyway, next slide, please. So
Marlene's great. She does all the cooking too.
Yeah.
She's like the head chef. I love Marlene.
Unfortunately, Marlene has had to step down from cooking now. She cannot be on her feet, But you know, Marlene, that's not going to stop her. She's busy doing other stuff. And Marlene doesn't say a lot, but when she does, you'd better be listening because it's worth listening to. So these two people that I have here are two members of our board. The Senior Center board consists of seven positions. 5 of them, but for those of you who don't know, 5 of them are by appointment of each council member. The remaining 2 are voted in by the members at large. And we have an annual general meeting. Traditionally, it's always been scheduled for August. Anyway, so I happened to run across this picture, and Third Buckholz, he is our board president. He is also the longest running board member. And when I say longest, I think it must be like 25 years. And next to him is Donna Sylvia, and Donna is our newest board member. I wish I'd had a picture of everybody, but there you go. We always want to try and do travel trips and so on. This was our most successful, thanks to Bird Buckholz. He chartered a boat for us, and we all went out and watched the sea life and the whales. And so I just wanted to throw that in. It's a beautiful memory. Thank you. So that's summer night fun. So let me get back to what I was saying about how, yes, it looks like it's all fun and games, but there's a serious side. We work with hospice to make sure that people are getting their advanced directives done. We participate by our dance, our Zumba gals for a while. We're going out to different living facilities, senior facilities, and doing dance and interactive stuff with the seniors. We participate in with Dominican and Sutter when they have their health fairs. We participate. There are lots of things that we do. We worked with the Museum of Art and History when they were tackling seniors in isolation. And we had members participate by providing artwork to the theme or other things towards that whole presentation that the Museum of Art and History put on. These things all take time. We participate on different boards. So Scotts Valley Senior Life Association reached out and wanted a member to connect with them and be the liaison, and that's how George got involved with them. George took my space and reported back. But we have other coordinators from all the different senior centers. We get together on a regular basis and we talk and we share the challenges and ideas and so on. I never feel like we are stepping on each other's toes because we're very mindful of that. There are enough seniors to go around. There are things that I cannot offer here at the center, but other senior centers can. For example, Mid-County and SCO, they have the visual and performing arts, they have the stages, the costuming, etc. So many of our seniors, I encourage them to go and become members there. I think I have talked enough. Are there any more slides?
No.
Good. So, I have really talked a lot, and I really would like to hear from you. I would like to hear, because I know that some people don't want to come to a senior center. They don't feel that they're ready for one, and or they don't feel that we don't offer what they want. So those are the kind of things that I wish to get out of today's presentation, was to listen to some of your ideas and wishes. And I'll stop right there.
I'm Jennifer and Doreen Miller. We live together in Monte Valley, and I just want to say that the Christmas fair is the best ever. You know, we go to these holiday craft fairs all over, and nothing is better than the one that happens here at Scotts Valley. We come with our wallets full and we buy all the presents for our family that we can, and we just have a wonderful time, and we get to connect with a lot of people we know from all over. And I'm looking forward to doing more activities now that I'm learning about all the other things that are happening. And the fellowship, seems like there's a lot of real, you know, connecting and getting together with people, you know, annually to do certain projects or more often than that. And that looks wonderful, really a benefit to our city and people of all ages.
Thank you, Doreen. I really appreciate those words.
If anyone wants to speak, remember to unmute yourself so that we can hear you.
Dave, I'd like to add a little bit for
Go right ahead.
Darsha. Just that there are so many wonderful activities that I think people don't realize that when before COVID, you could do Zumba, you could take dance lessons, you could play bridge, bocce, as was mentioned. There's just so many activities that I don't think people realize the wonderful variety that we're blessed with. And I agree, the Christmas Art and Crafts Fair I get most of my Christmas gifts there. And it's just one of the best all year that I look forward to. So thank you, Darsha. Thank you, everyone. I mean, Ferd and Marlene and Don and so many people. We're really blessed in Scotts Valley.
Thank you, Donna. I'd just like to also say we have a fantastic relationship with our city council, again, with our service clubs, with the businesses, with the schools. And because of those connections, we are able to do what we do. Without their participation, it would be a lot harder.
I can add, you really do have a lot of fun events. One of my favorites, I haven't been too many times, but games. You have a games day, and I would drop in a couple times to play Scrabble, and everybody there just having a kick. And I think people really enjoy those things, just knowing they have a place to go to and talk with their friends and do something social. So you bring a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Thank you, Jack. Talking about Scrabble, when you participated, that was another form of outreach because you let us then know that the Law Society as a fundraiser, I believe that's right, the Law Society did a fundraiser once a year. And so any of our seniors who really, were competitive and wanted to play, they could participate. So it's these kind of interactions, and we make these connections out into society. And it really keeps your world as wide as possible. The other thing I'd like to say is the Senior Center, as far as I'm concerned, is a safe haven. When you become too slow for people or people don't feel you have value, come to the Senior Center. I will gladly let you do certain things, even if you take longer than I would have taken, because you know what? You're valuable. You're worth it, and that's what I mean. It's a place that you can still be you, even if your skills are diminishing. Just don't file checks away and let me find them 6 months later, or one case 2 years later. Anyway, just thank you, Jack.
I just wanted to say something. I'm Tamima Schwartz. I'm the line dance teacher. I wanted to thank you, Darshana. When COVID happened, I set up the line dancing via Zoom. very strange to do it by yourself in kind of a virtual atmosphere, but a lot of the people that expressed interest came to the class and kept it going. So I just wanted to thank you because it was way better than no class at all. And and I think a lot of the people agree and kept coming, even though it was a big change, and we really miss the old way in person, but it kept us going through this whole time. So thank you for helping me get some students going to the class.
You're a great teacher, Tamima. We're very lucky to have you. And and that whole Zoom thing was a whole new learning curve. With the echoing and the cutting out and all the rest of it. So you have it down now, though.
That's right.
I was wondering. Yeah, I had people actually asking me. I talked to a lot of people. I was doing some Zoom training for people, and they actually were asking about dancing classes. So they were really excited about participating. So thank you for doing that.
Well, you're welcome. I might keep going for people who are still wanting to do it. I might still have some class. I mean, I have no intention of stopping until the senior center's open, but even after that, I might do a few if people feel more comfortable doing it from their homes.
I think that might happen. I think some of us are chomping at the bit to get out and back to normal, and other people are just still afraid and still want to be at home, even though they've had their shots and so on. So thank you for that offer, Tamima, because again, it's your time and talent. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And if they want to come to the class, Darshana can contact me with someone's email if they're interested. So I'm always welcoming new students, and there's no restrictions either. You can sit in a wheelchair and do the class if you want. That's the kind of the neat thing about Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some people do that.
Yeah, one of the things I'd like to mention is we connected with the County Office of Education. And so there's students who are in the special needs classes. They all have like one-on-one carers. So we had them come pre-COVID. They would come over and they'd come on the transportation buses, and they would come and they would every Wednesday afternoon they would sweep and clean outside. Now the bulk of that was done by the carers, but the children did what they could, and the county office loved it because it got a chance for the children to be out in an open space. And it was a win-win for us. We tried to do intergenerational stuff as much as possible. We had another class come over. Tamima did one, and our Zumba teacher at the time, Litris, did the other. 2 different occasions, they came over and they did line dancing with Tamima. So even the children who were quadriplegic, they got to be spun in their wheelchairs, and same with Zumba. And it was a lot of fun, and my seniors really appreciated that. We did something else with the Girl Scouts the very first time. One of the Girl Scouts had, 4-H. I'm blanking on her name, and I shouldn't. Kristen Fraley. She wrote a grant for $1,000 to get these teddy bears, the Build-A-Bears. So she bought the 4-H's, and I got the seniors together, and they spent an afternoon building the Build-A-Bears. And at the end of the afternoon, our Scotts Valley Fire Department came over, and we presented them to them because they were for children in traumatized situations. We've done more of that too. I could keep talking. I'm not sure how much time we have left, but one time with another 4-H group. They came over and we did those blankets, fleece blankets that all you had to do was tie the knots. And we actually made a bunch of those over the course of an afternoon. And those were donated to the Ronald McDonald Pediatric Home. Another time, this was a huge effort, making these towels into bags for the shower bus, for the teenagers, the homeless teenagers. And it was stuffed with goodies and each one was individualized. And anyway, we do things like that. We outreach to this to the entire society and see how we can help.
It's just amazing, Darshana. All the threads that you're weaving for, you know, communities that help and communities that receive, and partnering, you know, and developing the awareness across all these different groups.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Thank you. It's not just me. I like if I get an idea, I'll speak to people about it. But by that same token, we're always gathering and we're always talking ideas, aren't we, Tamima? We're always coming up with things. And again, without the hands-on volunteers, none of this stuff can happen. I can talk all I want, and yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Without the people volunteering, it goes nowhere.
I believe you.
All right, thanks, Darshana. This is Victor. Thanks for the overview and information. A couple things, and it's great to hear the intergenerational and reaching out. So a couple things. Students are finishing out high school, middle school till June 9th. And a lot of people are going to need hours for community service work. So I heard you say decluttering. So if we wanted to give our own kids or an idea to the schools, are you already working with anyone that could take that, or should they just contact you directly if they want to help?
They should contact me directly. I like to talk to each child. You know, I've had the problem, so I've learned. I've been in this for about 35 years, volunteer work. So it only takes 1 or 2 times and you realize people are quick to offer help. And also if you have something and say, who wants to do it? They'll say, I do. But then you find that they're the wrong person for the job. So I rather talk to everybody and find what suits them. And students, they all have different wish lists of how they want to help. And too, Victor, if they come to me and I can't find something for them, there are so many opportunities I know of that we can link them to Roaring Camp or Boardwalk or, you know, just mothers groups and things like that. We can do that too. We can do that too.
Great. I don't know if I can get your email, or if you want to send it in the chat, put it in the chat, or maybe send it later, so we can connect offline maybe.
Okay. George, can we do that? Can we? Well, Victor, I'll take an aside. I wasn't ignoring you. I received your email, and I will respond, and we will meet. But I was taken up with a couple of other things that and this was one of them. But I definitely wanted to speak to you because we are also connected to the chamber as well. Without the chamber support, we wouldn't function as well either.
Sure, thank you. Just want to make sure I have a way to follow up, and then you know, I think I heard you say, was it time, talent, and treasure, right? Yeah. And so I think you know, one of the reasons I'm here is number one, I am over 50, 55, coming on 56. So it's interesting to know that I could be a member, which is nice. But, you know, I see, you know, all of us in the community as potential assets, right? If any of us wanted to make our community better, we can. And we can do that through what you said with our time, talent, and treasure. I like to think of it as time, effort, and resources. And so I think it was George that mentioned, you know, some of the digital opportunities, you know, whether that's a senior that wants to learn digital or a senior that knows digital and wants to offer it to others. You know, as we come out of the pandemic lockdown, you know, people are going to be moving around looking for more opportunities. And that's where I was hoping to make sure and figure out, you know, if a senior does have available time or talent, you know, how can we connect them in and, you know, publish things back to that person, whether it's you or somebody else, to say, hey, did you know this is happening in the community? Here's how you stay in touch. And the last thing I'll say, Darshana, which might be helpful, is, if you do have people in your community that are especially good at being a single point of contact, we just had the fires last year, right? And a lot of us on our own had to figure out, like, what's going on. And so one thing I'm doing in my community is looking ahead to learn about FireWise USA practices for our neighbors and chipping services that are now available for free through RCD. And so those are the kind of things that if you have a senior that might be interested to say, hey, let me find out and maybe I can share with other seniors. Those are just a couple of opportunities, I think, I'd like to understand if that's something that you'd be open-minded to.
That would be fantastic. So you and I are definitely going to talk, and sooner versus later, so we can get some of these things started into our newsletter. I'd really appreciate that, Victor.
Can I just add something about the wildfires? There's a website called readyforwildfires.org, and it has pamphlets called Ready, Set, Go, and it tells you how to get your house ready for the fires, how to pack a go bag, and then how to get out when you need to. And it's done by CAL FIRE. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I wasn't, but I've written it down now. Throughout
I can send you the link, but the pamphlets are great. And we had a battalion chief come to our neighborhood and walk around and tell us what we needed to do to get ready for the wildfires. And he was really helpful and handed out the pamphlets, but they're online too, and you can download them.
Yeah,
so
that's really great information, Tamima. Throughout our publications of last year, I was putting in some articles that I would get from the websites. And then also too, Donna Lind had worked on had led a safety, Donna, help me out with this. What word am I looking for? A safety procedures plan for Scotts Valley. And so some of that stuff had come up and I shared some of that. But definitely, this is what we have to do. As we are speaking, actually, it's silent right now, but we have the chipper going on at the next door neighbors because they are starting to take care of their property. And it's so important. It is so important. One of the things I'd like to see is maybe some sort of a emergency phone line or something for our seniors, but that's something I have to talk to our team about.
Yeah, and that hotline, who are you going to call? Because thank you, Tamima, for mentioning they're ready for wildfire. There's different sites out there, but even myself, I was struggling to say, is the evacuation order over? Or does it apply to my zone? Or what zone am I? It's like, you'd spend hours trying to figure it all out. And so thank you to, Danny Reber and the chief and all the other people that, were the ones that everyone was like asking, what to do. But that's why I'm trying to think ahead and say, if there's somebody that can help the seniors to,
right,
know who to talk to and where to go, it might be faster than doing it on your own.
Yeah. And whatever we do, yes, it just ties all into the city because that's where it all, needs to come from, and, that communication.
Cool.
So definitely.
Thanks.
Thank you, Victor.
You're welcome.
I just want to let everybody know that Dave posted Darshana's email address in the chat. And if you can't see the chat, there's a little box at the bottom of your screen, a little square box that says chat. If you click on that, then there will be a menu on your right that will pop up and show all of the comments, and Dave's is in there. And hopefully Darshana doesn't mind if we share her email with the world.
No, let's just make sure that, is it Croskrey? Krey? Can you see that?
Yeah, let me
Because
type it
my
in.
name has a weird spelling, so.
It's just Darshana at packbell.net.
Oh, let's not use that. That's my personal one. So
right.
we will use D Croskrey at scottsvalley.org. And that's C-R,
All
so
right.
DCROSKREY.
At scottsvalley.org. It's right there.
Correct.
You might want to take a look to make sure I spelled it right.
How do I take a look? Oh, I go to chat?
Yep.
Tamina just put in there.
Yeah.
DCROSKREY at scottsvalley.org.
Yeah.
That's the one. Thank you.
I hope that has given you some ideas about our center, and if you have any other questions about the center, please feel free to email me anytime. If you see something you want that I don't have, please let me know. Let's sit down. Let's try and make it happen.
Yeah. And let us know too at Scotts Valley Senior Life, because we'd like to help out the senior center whenever we can. So
I would like to share a poem with you. We used to have a member, Fran Rosen, and she did pass away, but Fran was amazing. She would write poetry and all different subject areas, and her son is actually going to be publishing a book. But here's one of her shorter poems that I'd like to share with you. And here it goes. What does the center mean to you? Have you found what you love to do? Senior doesn't just mean old. It means a friendship we enfold. No matter what your age in years, from 50 to 100 plus years, you belong here. A haven to meet and make new friends, and continue elsewhere, it never ends. You don't just come and sit on your laurels, so much to do, your mind just whirls. You feel it as soon as you come in, that thread of love amidst the din. For 32 years we've opened the doors. The center is here, the center is yours. So I just wanted to pay tribute to Fran.
very nice.
Yeah. And if you check out this month's newsletter, you will see a poem, the second poem by one of our members about the CZU fires. This one she calls The Afterglow. And don't forget, you can go on the Facebook page and see everything in color. And Becca is very good about keeping it up to date. So you can also contact us through the Facebook page. So I want to thank you all for your time today. I really appreciate you calling in.
Well, thank you, Darshana. That was full of great information, and it was great to get a peek at your newsletter and see. I have to say, Becca does such an amazing job. No, it's quite a challenge getting that out every month. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you. It definitely was a challenge this month. Becca, poor Becca, her 97-year-old mother, she'd just come back from visiting with her. And she came back on the Sunday, and the following Friday morning, the dreaded 3 a.m. call that her mother had a heart attack and was in ICU. So she was gone. She'd just done the newsletter. She was gone. So it was going to be a cut and paste effort. Luckily, she came home on Monday and said, "How's it going, Darshana?" And I said, "It's not going." And so she took over. So better late than never, but it's a beautiful issue, and I encourage you all to read it. Thanks.
Thank you. We will. And just so everybody knows, as we mentioned before, we recorded this whole session, and we will be posting that on our YouTube channel with Scotts Valley Senior Life in about a week. So I can share it with you, Darshana, and you could put a link in your newsletter.
Perfect. Perfect.
So
thank you.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. So, well, thank you, everybody. Next June the 7th, Monday after next, we'll be hosting Ron Whittle. And I think he's, as far as I'm concerned, he's a new Scotts Valley Fire Chief. So we're really looking forward to that. He's going to talk about fire season preparedness, which is especially important this year with the drought and all that dry forest up there.
Victor,
So,
that addresses your question.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, tune in and let your friends know too about the Senior Life Online programs that we do. And also, Victor, you were talking about, connecting with seniors and digital online kind of things. And we want to let people know there are a lot of seniors that are not connected, like that we'd like to reach out to that aren't connected online to anything. And which I understand, it's very confusing and intimidating. We've been working with it for a year and we still haven't figured it out. So, but we would like, so if you can recommend or have somebody contact us one way or another by mail or whatever it takes. And because we want to compile a list of people that we can help out and reach out to. We're hoping to do some intergenerational work with the students in Scotts Valley and work with seniors also. So we would welcome that kind of input.
Great.
So
Darshana, again, thank you. And everybody, appreciate you being with us today. As George says, come back and join us on our next session, June 7th, 4 o'clock sharp. George, any last minute comments?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Darshana. It's always a pleasure.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to
Bye,
see you in
everyone.
person.
Thanks, everyone.
Right.
Thanks,
Have a
Darshana.
lovely evening.
Bye, everybody.